Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Chill Out podcast. So I decided to do something different. I'm chilling in my car. How long I've been driving around trying to find like a decent place to like literally park. Like these people on YouTube make it look so easy. Like where are you parking? Okay, because where I'm parking, either someone pulls up like right next to me or people are like staring, which is so awkward. But anyways, I hope everyone's doing well. So first of all, I would recommend grabbing a drink, okay, canceling your plans and chilling out with me, okay? First of all, how did this week go by so quickly? I feel like I literally blinked twice and it was Friday, and I'm not complaining, but on Wednesday morning, I'm literally getting ready to start work and my laptop decides to like choose violence. So I take a deep breath, hoping that the blank blue screen somehow goes away, but I'm obviously clearly in denial at this point, and I just feel like throwing the computer over the balcony, and I'm just being fully transparent. I honestly reached my limit of like trying to play it cool and not allow it to like make me upset, but then I had to make a decision: sink or swim. It's me or the laptop right now, and I'm panicking because I have work. And you know that feeling when you have work and your laptop breaks? You email your boss to like let them know that, you know, my laptop's broken, I'm trying to get it fixed, or I'm gonna have to buy a new one. And you sort of like feel guilty, like you're doing something wrong or like you're lying or something. And that is exactly what you think they're thinking. So now you're like spiraling. Maybe they're thinking this girl's clearly lying, like she's like sipping a pina colada on a beach for the next 5 hours. And even though they probably aren't thinking that, my brain like still spirals in that direction. And I'm just someone who like hates being late to anything. I'm literally single. I have nothing else going for me than this podcast, my blog, and work. So missing even a few hours of work literally felt in my head like the world was coming to an end. Like I'm not even being dramatic. So off to the mall I go, going to the iStore, then a computer shop, calling my dad, asking him for advice. I was literally like, Dad, I have a problem. I honestly don't know what to do. I'm honestly so self-sufficient, but like at the same time, like I still am not. Like I was literally so desperate for a new laptop. Like I was going to buy literally the first one that I saw. But then my dad was like, no, don't be silly. Like you can't spend so much money. Like you have to look at the specs, Kelly. Now I like fully understand like my dilemma with choosing the wrong guy. I literally accept anything. That's why I attract guys that just like are not the one. Anyways, back to the story. So I end up getting a laptop a few thousands later. But then the guy at the computer shop says, oh no, this one is out of stock. Literally after looking at like all of the specs of like every laptop in the shop. And the guy's like, oh no, but my coworker, like he can go and pick one up and it'll be at like 5. Oh my gosh, guys, I almost cried right there and then. Like I'm not even kidding. I then leave. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll pay. I'll come back later. It's fine. I then leave, proceed to pay for my parking ticket, get into my car, and my parking ticket is literally nowhere in sight. I mean, I literally just got into my car. And now a lost ticket is like 40 rand. Okay, look, I know that's not a lot, but I mean, seriously, like that day was just so bad. I got home, waited until 4 and then went back to pick up the PC. I'm driving home like all stoked. I get home, plug it in. I'm ready to work now. And then it literally decides to do an update and like chills on 55% for more than 15 minutes. And I need to start work. Like I have to start work. My brain is spiraling. I'm thinking that people at work are literally thinking, oh no, this girl is literally on a beach right now, sipping pina coladas, working on her tan. I'm not even kidding. But anyways, I eventually got everything sorted. All I could think about for that day was, why me? Literally, why me? So in a nutshell, I'm pretty keen for this week to end. I'm totally being dramatic. There's literally way more important things than this to be like bleak about, I know. But just let me wallow in like self-pity for like 5 seconds. I'm single, I live alone, I'm honestly just doing my best. So like when my laptop breaks, it feels personal. It feels like the universe is trying to snatch the last thread of control that I have left. Like honestly, girl, like can I not just have one thing? So I've just realized like I cling to structure like it's my emotional support water bottle. If I know I have work at 9, coffee by 10, and podcast editing at 3, then I feel like I'm okay, I'm doing life, I'm managing. But the moment something messes with that structure, it's like the world is coming to an end. Like a girl with no plan and a broken laptop, that's dangerous. That's like crying in the ice store type of energy. Honestly, like this podcast and my blog are like my lifelines, especially when I'm not in a relationship or like going through a big life change or feeling a bit like untethered. They remind me of like who I am. Like I might be spiraling, but at least I'm spiraling creatively. And at least I'm spiraling with a mic on, okay? I think we underestimate how emotionally charged like the little things become when you are like already doing your best to like hold it together. And sometimes the meltdown isn't about the laptop, it's more about everything that came before the laptop. Sometimes I wonder if I put too much of myself into my work or this podcast or my blog. But then again, like what else do I have? These things give me purpose. They give me a reason to get up, to create, to keep going, especially when life feels confusing or like unstable. Like when you're single, figuring life out, navigating adulthood, and trying not to fall apart over like a broken kettle, your passions become like your personhood. Like, no, I don't have a wedding Pinterest board, but I do have a content calendar and a voice memo app like full of half-baked podcast ideas. That counts, right? It's like when I put something out there, like whether it's like a blog post or a podcast episode, I feel a little bit more real. Like, okay, I exist, I have thoughts, I have a voice, and everyone's out here like getting married or moving countries or whatever, and I'm just out here trying to make sense of my feelings in a 45-minute podcast episode. But that's me, that's my growth arc, and honestly, I'm proud of it. Even when everything feels like messy, if I'm working on something I care about, I feel like I'm doing okay. Like no matter how chaotic the rest of my life is, at least I'm still building something. I'm the type of person who like prides herself on showing up, on being the reliable one, the one who answers the email, meets the deadline, keeps it together, even when I'm low-key falling apart. So when I can't do that, when life hits and I miss a few hours of work, or you know, I can't get an episode out on time, like that guilt is instant. It feels like I failed, like I let someone down. And even though no one's mad, I'm spiraling because there's this fear, like this fear of being too much or not enough. It's exhausting. Like being human obviously should be enough, but sometimes it feels like it's not. And it's exhausting, like being the girl who always tries to keep it together. Like sometimes I don't want to be the responsible one, the perfect one. Sometimes I want to be the hot mess who just throws her laptop out of the window and goes and grabs an iced coffee. I hate how much like of my worth I tie to how productive I am. Like if I'm not doing something or building something or proving something, I start questioning everything. It's like, who am I when I'm not producing? When I'm not checking something off a list? It makes rest feel like a guilty pleasure instead of like a basic human need. And I know that's not healthy, but when your identity is so wrapped up in what you do, it's hard to like just be, if you understand what I mean. But it's that weird moment when you like realize that, you know, someone you knew so well is now just like a stranger. Like it's such a weird feeling, you know? How do you go from being someone's like everything or like putting someone on such a pedestal and then not even being on their radar anymore or not even feeling anything? I have no idea how I'm actually feeling, to be honest. But I'm kind of okay with it. Like I'm literally just on a vibe right now where I just want to focus on myself. Lately, I've just been like diving headfirst into the Vampire Diaries. It's like, it's 2013 again. And honestly, I'm not even mad about it. There's something so safe about rewatching a show you already know. Like, you know the plots, you know the drama, and there's like zero emotional risk. It's like emotional background noise for your soul. But obviously, I'm like paying attention. But I feel like you know, we rewatch shows when life feels overwhelming because it gives us like control. Like everything around us may be chaos, but at least I know that Elena is still going to choose the wrong brother at some point. That predictability, it's low-key calming. It's also nostalgic as well. Like sometimes you just want to mentally time travel to when things felt easier, when you were like laying on your parents' couch, you know, binge watching your favorite show on the weekend and having no cares in the world. Like you just want to go back to that time, and you know, even if you were still stressed back then, it feels less unhinged than now. So I'm a Stefan girl. Okay, first of all, I feel like we don't talk about it enough, but why does Stefan, Salvatore, and Justin Bieber look so alike? Honestly, maybe that is why I like Stefan, because he looks like Justin Bieber. I mean, Justin Bieber was like my teen crush, okay? But it's so crazy and it's not spoken about enough that they look literally so similar. It's so weird and so crazy, but I love them both. And I love the idea of like a sweet, loyal guy who would do anything for the people that he loves. Like, let's be real. What I actually go for usually are the guys who like keep me on edge, don't really choose me, and then leave me questioning my worth. That's typically the guy I go for. And hey, I'm not blaming them, I'm blaming me, because why am I making the choices to go for people like that? So Stefan is like this green flag that I usually overlook in a guy because he's not making me chase him. He's not making me feel like I'm constantly fighting for his attention. Like, I'm used to the chaos, you know, guys who are like hot messes and treat me like a literal afterthought. And somehow I end up chasing that. And when I know deep down I need to be choosing a guy like Stefan who wouldn't leave me feeling emotionally drained. But do guys like that even exist? Like, I was actually thinking about this the other day. Like, do Stefan types even exist? Like, am I delusional for thinking there's actually a guy out there who's emotionally available, loyal, and won't leave me questioning if I'm just an option? Or am I just like trapped in like a rom-com fantasy that I literally need to let go of? Please let me know in the comments down below. Do I like him because he's emotionally available or because he's a vampire with trauma and a great jawline? Like, I need answers. So if you know the answer, please let me know. I'm usually attracted to like the pretty guys, like the ones that look like Zac Efron in High School Musical, or like Justin Bieber. Like, the pretty boy usually is like super cute, mysterious, cool, and usually emotionally unavailable. And I feel like, you know, pop culture doesn't make it easy on us because they've like fed us this like image of what an attractive, dreamy guy is like supposed to be. So my brain is like, oh yes, that's the blueprint. So when someone isn't immediately emotionally like available, your brain might translate that inconsistency into like a challenge, and like you end up like chasing that validation, and it can feel like you're like earning love, which can be addictive. It's like, if I win him over, it must mean that I'm worthy. But what I've come to terms with is that real healthy love doesn't require you to prove your worth like that. Like, that's just not a vibe, and it's not something that you're supposed to be doing. Like, the aesthetic, the charm, the vibe, like, it's all very dreamy for guys like this. But once you're in it, you realize that the emotional connection you actually want might not be there. Yet you like stick around because you fell for like the idea of him, not like really who he is. And it's hard to let go of a fantasy that you've like built up in your head. And sometimes we chase emotionally distant people because we're afraid of like true intimacy. Like, if they're never fully in it, like, you don't have to be either. So it gives you the illusion of connection without the risk of like feeling vulnerable. So, you know, when like bad stuff happens, or like you're just having a bad week or a bad day, you like tend to do like really funny or comforting things to like romanticize a bad week. Okay, so I want to share with you like some of mine. So drinking an iced coffee dramatically like it's a coping tool, check. Okay, this is a matcha, but same thing. Crying in the car, okay, while Justin Bieber's Journals album is playing, or like Charli XCX is blasting, still a vibe. Okay, it's a great way to comfort you. You know, wearing a hoodie and sunglasses, like, it's my safe space in my special home that I can like retreat to when I'm not feeling that great. Check. Okay, that's a vibe for me. Reclining my seat back in my car, parking at the beach and staring at the waves for hours. That's something that I do, okay? Laughing at tough situations is something that I also do. To ask someone for something, like a basic thing you shouldn't have to explain, and suddenly like you're crafting a whole essay, like yes, that. We're so conditioned to soften our asks, especially as women, like to shrink, to explain, to be palatable, because maybe we'll come off difficult or needy or the ultimate horror, too much. So even when we need something, whether it's support or space or clarity, we feel like we have to justify it. Like we're standing in a courtroom defending our emotions. And it's so wild because I feel like if a guy sends a 3-word text, can't talk right now, that's it. And like, you know, he doesn't spiral, he doesn't apologize for needing a minute, but we will write a full breakdown like, hey, sorry to bug you. I know you're busy and this probably sounds like a big deal, but I just wanted to ask if maybe you could let me know where your head is at. Like, no pressure though. All good if not. Like, seriously, why are we begging for crumbs and handing out entire, fully baked, yummy cakes? Why? Please tell me. Something about knowing what to expect, like having your morning routine, your iced coffee, your calendar, your podcast, and your blog that gives you a sense of safety. It's like, okay, the world may be crumbling, but at least this is mine. Because the minute something throws it off, like let's say your laptop pulling a full-on betrayal on a Wednesday morning, you spiral. And that's what I did. Not because of the tech issue itself, but because everything that structure holds for me, whether it's my identity, productivity, my sense of control, it feels like it's cracking. And it's even worse when it's people who are unpredictable. Like you can't refresh them. You can't force quit and restart. So when someone's hot and cold with you or doesn't show up for you like they used to, you get this emotional whiplash and you start asking yourself like if you did something wrong. Like, spoiler, you didn't. Like, people just suck sometimes, but unpredictability reopens those like old wounds of being let down, not being prioritized, or being made to feel like you were always the problem. Have you like ever looked back at like a situationship or a relationship and you think, I sent this man playlists, poured my heart out in paragraphs, defended him to my friends, and planned entire emotional healing arcs for him, and he replied K to a text about my feelings. And it makes you realize when it comes to your people, your family, your friends, you know, anyone, you show up, you care, you give effort, and you expect that same energy back. But in love, you've made excuses. You're like, you've let it slide. You've accepted inconsistency and called it like emotional unavailability, like it was just a personality trait instead of a red flag. And suddenly you're like, damn, I've given more grace to a guy who has ghosted me, who's never prioritized me, than I gave myself during a mental breakdown. That's the moment where you're like, hold up. What if I stopped being so emotionally generous with people who always treat me like a second option? Because you wouldn't stand your friend up for plans, okay? If someone messaged you for advice, you're not going to be like, I don't think so, or like just ghost them. You wouldn't ignore your boss for days. You wouldn't give yourself that little effort. So like, why let some emotionally unavailable douchebag take so much of your time? We give people who don't deserve it so much of our energy and so much of our time, and when it's not reciprocated, it like almost breaks us. Like it makes us question our own worth, or why aren't we enough for someone to make that same effort or be a good friend or be a good partner, you know? And it has nothing to do with you, and that's something that you need to like really understand. And even so in survival mode, that if one thing gets out of your control, it feels like your whole world is ending. And then you start to spiral and like start questioning things. And that's not a great way to live. Like, you don't want to live life like that. You want to be supportive. You want to be there for yourself. You want to show up for yourself. And yeah, I think it was just like a reminder for me not to be so in my head all the time and like try and like control everything in my life, because sometimes things are out of my control. And yeah, it just wasn't the laptop. Moral of the story is I hope that guys like Stefan Salvatore actually do exist. You know, wouldn't that be such an amazing thing? Okay, but I love you. I'm actually getting really hot in this car and like I can't put the AC on or roll down the window because I'm literally talking to myself and people are walking by and probably thinking like, what is this girl doing? Yes, I cried to Charli XCX on the bathroom floor and yes, it changed my life. Started a blog. It's called The Ward Method and it's basically my laid back version of like a non-toxic guide to living better, not perfect, if that makes sense. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Check it out. I have inserted the link in the description. I love you. I'm gonna enjoy my matcha. Have a great weekend, guys, and have an awesome week. Bye.